What is good, y'all? Man, I made a video a couple days ago about the Pixel 3. I've been watching more and more videos about it. And my whole thing is, I'm not trying to hate it on the phone, yo. It's not like I'm hating on the phone. The whole thing is, like, why is it that the Pixel 3 doesn't get the same kind of flack that other manufacturers get for releasing software that's hard, subpar? You get what I mean? Why doesn't it get the same kind of flack? So I was looking at Flossie Carter's post, right, on Instagram. And you can see what he says right here. Fast wireless charging is supposed to make your battery increase after 40 minutes from 78 to 73%. That means there was a drop of 5% while putting it on the fast charger. You can see in the comments a lot of people have had issues with it. It's rebooting, it's freezing. Why is it that reviewers aren't talking about this? Why is it that they get a pass for charging? They're charging over $800 for the base model of these phones. Why do they get a pass? When Samsung releases their phones, software is already optimized for the device as much as it can be. Why is it that reviewers keep pushing the narrative that Pixel devices have the best software when it's not true? It hasn't been true for a while. Yeah, they might update it eventually, but it's not updated now, and it's already been like released for the consumer market for people to start buying. So like, why is it that we give them a pass? Anytime they fuck up, we give them a pass. Why? That's my real question. Like my real gripe right now is like we keep giving them a pass. So is it that like is it the brand is paying people or something? I'm not trying to accuse anybody of being paid, but I just gotta call it like it is. Somebody's talking about them having like freezing issues, and I mean like I've read through other forums, people talking about reboots, battery drain, so many issues, and it's like fine, like you get a phone, and after the first few weeks, a couple software updates come to patch up stuff. When the battery life is subpar, then you see like a couple patches come out. That's what's supposed to happen. But it's like usually when a phone comes out, at the very least there should be certain reasons for certain things. And also let's talk about the fucking notch. Somebody pointed out something in the comments. I don't know if it was here or where it was, but somebody pointed something out, right? There we go. You can see these posts. Google, we had to put a big ass notch to fit the dual cameras. HTC, cool story, bro. I've been saying this shit. They didn't need to put that notch there just for the cameras. They didn't need to do that. They did that shit solely for the purpose of copying the iPhone 10 and making it look like an iPhone 10 so they could sell it. They did it for marketing. They did not do it because it's functional. Nobody wants to point that out. Everybody wants you to be quiet about the problems when it comes with the Pixels. I'm not saying that these phones are bad, that they're garbage or anything, but for the price that they are charging, I mean, come on. Yo, right here somebody said Floss is going so hard on the Pixel 3 XL because Google didn't give him an invite. And he says, I don't give a fuck about going to an invite. I care about spending $978. Why would I be mad? They didn't pay me. They didn't pay anybody to go. You get what I'm saying? The speakers, right? The HTC has a front speaker at the top. There's no logical reason for them to have put that notch there. It doesn't make any sense. But they keep getting a pass. Everybody keeps giving Google a pass. And what I'm saying is, treat the phone like the manufacturer, like you would any other manufacturer. When HTC came out with the squeeze feature, people shitted on the thing. It's trash. It's this and that. Google does the same thing with less functionality. All of a sudden, it's the best thing ever. It's ludicrous, you know. The narrative that it's the super best it takes great cameras It doesn't overexpose or underexpose in most conditions. It's not better in every situation than every other phone. But the narrative is it's the best ever. It's so much better than everything else, which is not true. It doesn't have the best battery life. They want to push the narrative that it's not that bad. And look how much money you're spending on it though. $978 fucking dollars for less functionality than the competitors in the same Android space. Look at this right here, man. I mean, come on. The notch only makes sense because the notch only makes sense because the iPhone's notch. They added a notch and removed the bottom chin, making it edge to edge, making it the most edge to edge can be. All Android phones added the notch to follow Apple and still have the bottom bezel. They should have stuck to their guns like Samsung did. Exactly. That's facts right there. That's 100% facts. Like I'm seeing a lot of comments in here. You can read some of them yourself. I'm not trying to shit on nothing. You buy what you like. But my thing is, if there's so many issues with the device, why give it a pass? Why not call it what it is? Now why not call it out and call out the manufacturer? Like when you're watching a video and it's off center. Why is that not an issue? But it would be an issue if Samsung had did it, or if LG had did it. If any other manufacturer had done the same shit, they would have been called out. People would have said, "No, it's trash. It's this." When LG released a phone since the G5, reviewers have been shitting on every flagship phone that they release, and they don't. It doesn't get the same kind of praise. You get what I'm saying? Even though it has, like, amongst Android phones, it has some of the best standby times. Ever since I used an LG G2 and like up, I've never had a problem with standby time. Standby on LG phones is incredible. It doesn't have the best screen on time, but the standby time is great, so you can spread that screen on time out over a long amount of time. You can't say that even for Samsung, and I'm using a Samsung. So I don't know why, like, at this point in time, people just don't point out the facts. Google messed up with this one. They messed up with the last one too. Ain't nobody gonna talk about it because the camera's good. But is the camera so good that it negates all the bad shit? That's the problem. Why aren't we talking about this shit? Why aren't people pointing it out? Why is it only like a handful of reviewers who are pointing it out? I watched a video yesterday. Somebody was talking about, yeah, it's the smoothest experience, but there's just a couple of bugs. It's not the smoothest experience or the best experience. And a lot of people have been talking about how the gestures, they wish they could turn off the gestures and then talk about it's the best Android experience. Why would it be the best experience if you want to turn off the thing that determines what the experience is, the UI? How you interact with the UI, the user experience, is something you want to turn off, but for some reason it's the best experience out there. Why are, like, the false narrative since the inception of all this shit? There's always been this false narrative of stock Android and it's this and it's that. It's not. And I've been saying it for a long time. And I'm glad that people are actually learning and picking it up. Somebody said, like, it doesn't really need 6 gigabytes of RAM because it's stock Android. You go and watch videos and see people's experiences, and they tell you that the apps reload way more than they should. It's not an iOS device. Android is not iOS. Handles apps differently. So why the lies? Why lie to the consumer? Why tell the consumer that this is the best possible phone when it's really not? It really has never been the best in any year. I can tell you that for a fact. It's really not. It really hasn't been the best in any given year. So far as just the product is concerned, it's never really been the best. There are some things that make up for it, like the constant support, it being a Google phone, getting updates first, But here's the thing about getting updates first. Updates don't always make the phone better. Some updates come with bugs. So you getting an update first isn't always better. But I will say it's better to get it on time when they say they're gonna bring it. If they say they're gonna bring it today, it should be today. You shouldn't have to wait so long for an update. That's not what I'm not saying that Samsung is any better. That's because Samsung's update policy is trash. But what I'm saying is people need to talk and like be more accountable. They need to hold these companies more accountable, so that the product that comes out that people are spending their hard-earned money on is actually worth it. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave this video. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.